Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we have a little bit of play with paper rose. So I have paper rose cockatoo circle and a beach scene, which we're going to do a little bit different with it. So I've die cut this cocky out of just some white cardstock, and I've cut it quite a few times. Some of it you'll see later on that I'm only using the leaves, something a little bit different. So the Copics that I'm using are YG97, YG95, YG93 and YG03, which is going to form like a glaze over the top of it and brighten it up to be a little bit different from the olivey green that those colours currently are. And that is the only Copic colouring that we're going to be doing today. So as you can see, I have punched out all the little bits. I sprayed it with a little bit of just a spray adhesive, and we're going to stick that down. This is where I'm going to come in with all my other leaves. I've left the part of the circle, because as you can see here, that's what we're going to help us with cutting it all down, like sticking it on, I should say, not cutting it down, sticking it on. And I'm just going to place all these little bits and pieces. So I've die cut this about 2.5 times. As I said, the 1.5 times is pretty much just been out of scrap cardstock. So we're just going to trim this up. I'm just trying to figure out where we're going to tie it all up and just make sure our tip of our leaf looks like a little bit of a tip of a leaf. I was a little bit, well, I didn't quite know what I was doing, but I needed to clean it up with my colouring up there a little bit, and we've just glued that all down with a little bit of multi matte medium. I'm going to come in with, now it's really hard to see, you're going to see it in a little bit. So we've come in with a bit of tumbled glass distress inks, and I'm just using a blending brush and going to just give ourselves a little bit of sky and a little bit of interest in the black background. So I've used this beach scene and I've actually turned it on it. Now, is it turned it on its head or is it the right way around? That is the question, isn't it? Anyway, we're using it from something a little bit different than it would normally be. And what I did there was using a rubber mat and just made the imprint onto the cardstock. So I've trimmed all that off. Well, I'm about to trim all that off, and you don't need to see me do that because I go off camera a fair bit with that one. Now I've got a little bit of green cardstock here, which is just like an olivey colour, and I am still working on my exposure on my camera. I have to do a little bit of research with that because it's a little bit too bright, so you still have to bear with me a little bit on that. So this is my card. I've got my green cardstock, which you can't see. I've got the All Occasions sentiment strip by Paper Rose. We're using all paper rose today. We're going to glue that down flat and center it into our cardstock, so we just have a little, see now you can see the green around the edge, and I just think it needed a little bit of lift there. The birthday wishes is going to, I wasn't too sure about doing white with black writing or the black with the white, but in the end obviously I'm going to go with the black with the white, but we are going to add a couple of little texture dots here and there to add a little bit more black into our sentiment. Just positioning where I want that. So this is a pretty quick and, well, it's not a simple card because there's a lot of die cutting, but it's a quick little card today. I try to sort of reduce it down. I am conscious of your time, and I really appreciate your time that you do spend with me. But the colouring on this card was pretty simple. So we've got some 5mm clear drops. We're just going to add a little bit of interest and a little bit of bling on our card, and I'm going to adhere those down with multi matte medium, which is my go-to that I generally use for this type of thing. I have put foam tape all around with my cocky there. It's called a cockatoo, but here in Australia we tend to abbreviate pretty much everything, so we call it a cocky. So I am not worried too much if some of my white frame of my leaves comes up, because it's still stuck down to the green, and so it makes it a little bit more interesting. So that's my card. There'll be a blog post link down below. I hope you are well. Take care. I'll see you next time. Bye.